Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today we're going to play Southern Flavour. Southern Flavour is a lovely minor key tune written by Bill Monroe. At least I think it was written by him. If anyone knows for sure, do let me know. He recorded it with several times and usually with either twin fiddles or three fiddles, but we're just going to do it with one. I'm going to show you the basic melody, some of the double stops that are in the original, and some ideas for soloing. So we start off. So when we get to the B7 chord there, it's a fiddle capo. So the first finger is going over the B and the F sharp. And you drop your second finger on for that G note. For the opening note, or the next note that's coming up now, you can either do the fourth finger doubling the note, or you can do put your first finger on a B, or if you don't want to do either, just do an open E. Three over two for a G chord. Keep your second finger on. Again a fiddle capo, second finger across the B and the F sharp. And then 1 over 2. Second finger stays down, first finger stays down, and you drop your third finger onto it and off again. Let's just do those 4 lines. 2, 3, 4. Then it goes to D major. You can either do that with string crossing on an open A. I think I would prefer fourth finger. And slur 3 and 3. 2 separate. And then we go to an E major chord, which is a surprise 1 over 3 with your third stretching, so it's quite a stretch. Same again. Now it's a B chord, 1 over 1. And the first finger, and we're going up to a 3 over 1, which is a bit of a surprise. And then repeat. So for this, the second finger is staying on there, there, and here as well. So top line, all over, like that. Okay, let's hear all of that with the backing. Now, when it comes to improvising a solo, you've got two main choices. One is to go with the chords, following each chord as it changes. So for the E minor, you can base your solo around the E minor pentatonic, E minor scale, or the E minor blues scale. And when it comes to the B7 chord, you would base it probably around the arpeggio of the B or the scale. Back to the E minor, then it goes to G, base it around the G major arpeggio or pentatonic or scale. Same for the B7 and E minor, then D major, E, D, B, and so on. So every time the chord changes, you're going to change your scale with it. Let's try and see what that sounds like. So that's one approach. It involves you actually learning the chord sequence, or at least being able to recognize the chords and move with them as it changes. Now let's see what happens if you just play it by ear and you treat it more or less as if it was all in E minor. It's the cheat's way out, but it sometimes works really well. So the eagle-eared among you would have noticed that as we go to the D, then it gets really quite hairy. You could, if you were careful in your selection of notes from the E minor, you could still get away with it. But I think that the D to the E is the place where you really need to know what's going on. And putting in a G sharp anywhere in your solo on that E chord is going to kind of force you and force the listener to know that chord is there. So I think I would do a mixture of the two approaches, staying mostly around E minor or E minor blues scale, but on that bridge D to E, and probably on the B7 chords I would pay close attention. One thing that's good in this kind of tune, a minor tune, is lots of parallel fifths. So parallel fifth is done by putting your first finger in what's sometimes called a fiddle capo position, where it will equally play two notes at once, and then you can either do a scale or a mode, but better still, do a chromatic scale where you're just moving in half steps. So let me just do a bit of a solo where I'll do some of those. that's a pretty good effect. Finally, a little question. Should it be played straight or played swung? So if it was played swung, that feels pretty good to me. And if you were playing this mainly with a guitarist who was playing in a swing chunk style, or maybe in a Texas guitar style, then that would work really well. But when you listen to Bill Monroe's recordings, they're actually doing it straight, and particularly with the banjo playing, I think straight is the way to go. So unless you've agreed to do it as a swung melody, then I would stay straight. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. If you would like a copy of the sheet music, do subscribe to the channel, send me an email, and I will send you a free PDF. And if you would like to consider joining me on Patreon, on there you can get all of my PDFs in one go. And that's around 400 of them for the mere cost of £4 for 1 month's membership. That's you can get all of those PDFs and lots of other goodies as well. So do please consider that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.